If I may say so myself, I am the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. I say this not boastfully, but as a matter of record. The staggering numbers speak for themselves. For those men interested in playing this highly satisfying, but sometimes dangerous game, I urge you to take a pen and pencil and take notes, for I am about to explain my method. In defense, married women may do likewise, but it will do them little good if they happen to be the chosen victim. My method has never failed. Now then, there are three vital characteristics needed, and they are patience, more patience, and still more patience. Those who do not have the strength to wait and persist, I urge you to take up bicycling, rowing perhaps. Seducing is not for you. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, you must, and I repeat, must, stay as far away from her as possible. Pay her practically no attention at all. Ignore her if you must. We will get to her through the husband. You are about to witness a practical demonstration. As far as it happens, I am madly and deeply in love this week. My heart will pass through this garden in a few moments with her husband. Every fiber of my being tells me to throw my arms around her and embrace her with all the passion of my heart. But observe how a master works. I shall be cruel almost to the point of freezing. My heart of hearts and spouse approaches.
Ah, Peter Semyonich. Fancy seeing you here.
Good to see you, Nicky. You're looking well.
Thank you. And you gay devil, you're always looking well. Excuse me, have you met my wife, Irina? Of course you have. You sat next to her last week at the Vesnovs. Irina, I don't know what this charmer said to you, but I must warn you. The man is a scoundrel, a notorious bachelor, and an exceptional swordsman. I'm sorry, Peter, that's the best I can say for you.
You exaggerate, Nicky. Madam, good to see you.
We're just getting ready to take our evening stroll. If you're not busy, Peter, why don't you join us?
That's very kind of you, Nikolai, but as a matter of fact, I am riveted to this very spot. A new romance has entered my life, and my legs are like pillars of granite. Until she leaves my sight, I shall be incapable of movement. Too much, do you think? As I said, be patient.
Fantastic! You never cease to amaze me. Pretty, I suppose.
Suppose magnificent. Suppose glorious, and you will suppose correctly.
Are there any complications?
As usual, a husband. I'm afraid my cause was
Nonsense, my boy. I'm placing my money on you, Peter, and you know I never bet unless I'm sure of winning. Well, we're off, my dear. Good hunting, my boy, good hunting.
Madam. Beautifully done, don't you think? Sometimes I'm overwhelmed by the work of a true professional. Did you notice that our eyes barely met? We hardly spoke a word, and yet how much she knows of me already. A, I'm a popular bachelor. B, a man in love, always titillating to romantic women. C, a gifted sportsman, a nice contrast to her sedentary husband. And D, this is most important, a dangerous man with the ladies. Quite frankly, at this point, she is thoroughly disgusted by me. A, because I'm a braggart and a scoundrel. B, because I'm shamelessly frank to my intentions. And C, because she thinks she's not the one I'm interested in. Sometimes I'm overcome by my own deviousness. Now then, are you getting this all down? Now then, the next step, hypnosis. Not hypnosis with your eyes, but with the poison of your tongue, like a venomous snake moving in for the kill. And what's more, the best channel is the husband himself. Witness, as I accidentally run into him at the club one day.
Ah, Peter, you're looking glum. I take it your pursuit isn't going well?
Is it that obvious, Nicky? Oh, Nicky, I'm doomed. I haven't seen her since I last met you and your wife. I sleep early and eat less. I've had my shirt collars taken in a half an inch. Ah, Nicky, why do I waste my time pursuing women that I can never truly call my own? How I envy you.
Really? What is it about me that you envy so?
Why, your marriage, of course. A charming woman, your wife, let me tell you.
What is it about her that fascinates you?
Why, her grace, her quiet charm, everything. But mostly, Nikki, it's the way she looks at you. Ah, if someone would only look at me like that with such loving, adoring eyes, it must send quivers through your body.
Quivers? No, not really.
A tingle for me. Don't tell me you don't tingle when she looks at you.
Tingle? Oh yes, by all means, I tingle all the time.
And she's an ideal woman, Nikki. Leave that from a lonesome bachelor and be glad fate gave you a wife like that.
Well, perhaps fate will be as kind to you.
Well, that's what I'm counting on. Good heavens, I'm late for my doctor's appointment.
Really? What is he treating you for?
Melancholia. Please say hello to your extraordinary wife for me, but I urge you not to repeat our conversation, as it might embarrass her fragile sensitivities. Oh, where is the woman for me? Yeah, I know where. The question is, how soon will she be mine? There's much more work to be done, not by me. That task falls by ignorant conquerors. Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich. Peter Semyonich. We met him in the garden last week. The bachelor, the attractive fellow, you remember.
I remember what a loathsome man he is.
Well, you may not think so when you hear what he has to say about you.
Nothing that braggart had to say would interest me.
He spoke most enthusiastically about you. He was enraptured by your grace and your quiet charm. You seemed to think you were capable of loving a man in some most extraordinary way. And there was something about your eyes and how you looked so adoringly. The man couldn't quit talking about you. He went on and on. Well, good night.
Good night? What else? What else did he have to say about me?
Peter?
Whatever that loathsome man's name is. What else did Peter Semyonich say about me?
That's more or less what I already told you.
But you said he went on and on.
He did.
But you stopped. If he went on and on, then don't stop. Either go on and on, or let's go to bed.
Well, he said how much he envied me. And, oh, he said how much he wished that someone would look at him the way you look at me.
How does he know how I look at you?
It must have been last week in the garden. He must have been looking at you as you were looking at me. It sent a tingle through my whole body.
The way I looked at you?
Yes, my angel.
But you were looking at him, so you couldn't have seen how I was looking at you. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the flowers because it made me nervous the way he kept avoiding looking at me. You must have tingled for some other reason.
It's all getting rather confusing. The point is he found me fascinating. I thought it would please you.
No, it doesn't. I would rather you not tell me stories like that. Are you planning to see him again soon?
Tomorrow for lunch.
Well, I would rather not be discussed over lunch. Tell him that. And at dinner you can tell me what he said. Good night,
Good night, my love. I am spellbound by my own power. I succeeded not only in piquing her interest, but caused her heart to flutter at the mere mention of my name. The same man she called loathsome not 2 minutes ago. Lunch the next day was not only nourishing, but productive. By the way, old man, I ran into Nekrasov yesterday. The artist? It seems he's been commissioned by some wealthy prince to paint the head of a typical Russian beauty. He asked me to look for a model for it. I said I knew just the lady, but I didn't dare ask her myself. What do you think of asking your wife?
Asking my wife what?
Why, to be the model, of course. That lovely head of hers. It would be a damn shame that exquisite face missed a chance to be immortalized for all the world.
Immortalized for all the world. I think I see what you mean.
Why don't you discuss it with her?
It's a great idea. I'll discuss it with her. Well, I said I would discuss it with you. What do you think?
I think it's nonsense. How did he put it to you? I mean, did he actually say a typical Russian beauty?
Precisely. And that would be a damn shame if such an exquisite face were not immortalized for all the world. That's exactly what he said.
He gets carried away by his own voice. Those exact words, you didn't leave anything out?
That lovely face. He did say that lovely face several times, I think.
He does go on, doesn't he? How many times did he say it? Once, twice, what?
Let me think. I really don't remember.
It's not important. But in the future, I wish you'd write these things down.
Have you seen me nearer? Have you heard me speak to her? Has any correspondence passed between the two of us? No, my dear pupils. Yet she hangs on my every word uttered by her husband. Awesome, isn't it? We applied his treatment from 2 to 3 weeks. Her resistance is weakening, weakening, weakening.
His mind is somewhere else, on some woman by the looks of him.
What woman? Has he mentioned any woman in particular?
Oh, no, of course not. He's much too discreet for that. He'll protect your good name at all costs. Instead, all he does is talk about you. I'm beginning to pity the fool. I feel sorry for him.
Mickey, it's really none of our concern. Did you ask him to dinner tomorrow?
He's busy.
The day after, then?
Busy.
Next week? Next month? When? Doesn't the man eat?
Well, he said he just started a very important project, and it would be several months before he'd be free to join us. He did say that with patience and persistence, good things would come his way. By the way, he said that you should be on the stage.
The stage? Me on the stage? Why in heaven's name?
Oh, just a minute. I don't wish to misquote him.
Take your time. Try to get it as accurately as possible.
Yes, he said with such an attractive appearance, such intelligence and sensitiveness, it's a sin for her to be just a housewife.
Oh, dear. He said that?
And that ordinary demands don't exist for such a woman.
Nikki, I don't think I want to hear anymore.
Natures like that should not be bound by time and space.
Nikki, I implore you, please stop.
And then he said, if I weren't so busy, I would take her away from you.
He said that?
Yes, right here.
Nikki, what did you say to him? It's important I know what you said to him then.
Well, I said, take her then. I'm not going to fight a duel over her.
I beg you not to mention my name to him ever again.
But I don't, my love. He's the one who always brings up the subject. He said, I don't understand you. He shouted at me. She's an extraordinary woman. Strong, trying to find her way. He said, if I were Turgeon, if I would write a novel, the passionate angel I would call it. The man is weird, definitely weird.
He's delivering my love letters, sealing them with kisses, and he calls me weird? What we've got so far. She is definitely consumed with a passion to meet me. She thinks that I'm the only one that truly understands her. Her yawning, disinterested husband transmits my remarks. But it is my voice she hears, my words that sing in her heart. The sweet poison is doing its work. I am relentless. There is no mercy in the seducing business. Observe how deftly the final stroke is administered. For the faint at heart, I urge you, look away.
No, Nikki, I don't want to hear. Not another word from him. Nothing.
That's exactly what he said. He begged me to tell you nothing more. He knew with your sweet, sensitive nature, it would trouble you to hear of someone in such distress.
He's in distress?
Worse, gloomy, morose, morbid, in the depths of despair.
Oh, no. But why? What's the matter with him?
Loneliness. He says he has no family, no true friends, no one who really understands him.
But doesn't he know we understand him perfectly? Doesn't he know how much we appreciate him and commune with him daily? Doesn't he know how much we yearn to be with him, you and I?
I tried to make that clear to him. I again asked him home to dinner, but he said he just can't stand to face people. And yet, he can't stand to stay at home either. Every night he paces back and forth in the garden where we first met.
What time?
This is good.
I'm invited to Dusty Bob's tomorrow for dinner at 8. Is that okay with you?
No. Aunt Sophia's sick. I'll be visiting her tomorrow. I'll be there at 9. Or a little after.
Please, no applause. I've done it myself. I share that honor with my good friend and collaborator, her husband. He wooed her so successfully that there is no carriage fast enough for her to be in my arms. And now for the conclusion. You will understand if I ask you to busy yourself with your programs or such. The next few moments are private, and I am, after all, the gentleman.
Gotta love that.
She observed. She ran all the way. My dear sweet angel, at last I can say...
No, not another word, not another sound. Please, I couldn't bear it. Not until you've heard what's in my heart. For weeks now, I've been in torment. You used my husband as a clever and devious device to arouse my passions, which I freely admit have been lying dormant these past 7 years. Whether you are sincere or not, you have awakened in me desires and longings I never dreamed were possible. Sweet. You appeal to my vanity, and I succumb. You bestir my thoughts of untold pleasures, and I weaken. You attack my every vulnerability, and I surrender. I am here, Peter Semyonovich, if you want me. But let me add this. I love my husband dearly. He's not a passionate man, nor even remotely romantic. Our life together reaches neither the heights of ecstasy nor the depths of anguish. We have an even marriage, moderate and comfortable. And in accepting this condition and the full measure of his devoted love, I have been happy. I come to you now knowing that once you take me in your arms, my marriage and my life with Nicky will be destroyed for all time. I'm too weak and too selfish to make the choice. I rely on your strength of character. The choice is yours, my dear. Whichever one you choose will make me both miserable and eternally grateful. I beg of you not to use me as an amusement, although even with that knowledge, I would not refuse you. I am yours to do as you will, Peter Semyonovich. Open your arms now, and I will come to you. If you love me, turn your back, and I will leave and never see or speak to you again. The choice, my dearest, sweetest love of my life, is yours. I await your decision.
Woo! Forever. Oh.
God bless you, Peter Semyonovich. I wish life brings you the same happiness you have just brought me.